Hi, you're listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB. Today I want to talk about contentment. So I've mentioned it a few times in a couple of my FlashCasts. Contentment, that I believe that we are true happiness, in a state of true happiness when we are completely content. But I've been asked the question by a few listeners, well, what is contentment? So I'm going to do a dedicated FlashCast today on the actual topic of contentment. So at first, I looked up what contentment actually means from a dictionary, and contentment, or the state of being content, is about a peaceful situation. Pretty simple, right? It's about peaceful situation. So in hindsight, we're at our most happiness when we are at peace with ourselves, which makes complete sense because we're not happy when we have possessions. We're not happy when something happens. It's temporary happiness, but complete happiness comes from a state of being content. Now it makes sense. It's about being in a state of peace. So it's a peaceful satisfaction. So let's explore that further. What it involves is appreciating what you have and where you are in life rather than wishing things were different. So if we expand that out, we're completely happy when we're content. We are content when we completely appreciate, is the key word, appreciate where we are and what you have in your life rather than wishing things were different. So we can have as many things and we can be in many places. We can have as many friends, eat in as many restaurants, whatever it is that you think is actually making you happy. However, you will never be completely happy until you're content. And you will never be completely content until you appreciate where you have, what you have, and where you are in life, rather than wishing things were different. So let's keep coming back to that through the FlashCast, right? Because that is the important part that needs to resonate within us. Even if we forget the rest, we need to remember that. Happiness is contentment. Contentment is appreciation of what you have and where you are, rather than wishing things were different. Now, as humans, we're not designed to be happy. We're not even designed to be content. What we're actually designed primarily to do is to survive and reproduce, like other creatures in the world. That's what we're designed to do. Isn't it pretty scary, right? If you look it up and you research it, we're designed to survive and to reproduce. Now, if you think about it, contentment is discouraged by nature because it would lower our guard against threats. So we actually have to work so hard on this area. And it makes a lot of sense that all these self-help books and a lot of the swamis, and it doesn't matter what you believe in or what your go-to in is in self-development and mindset training and all the rest of it. We could ask the question, why is it that it's become so hard to us? Why is it so hard when it should be so natural? Why is it so hard for us to understand that we need to do the work to make sure that we are, constantly building our mindset, that we're constantly working on things that may seem simple? And there it is. It's because as humans, we are designed to survive and reproduce. We're not actually designed to be looking at things of contentment and happiness, because that would actually lower your guard. It discourages it, by nature, because it lowers our guard to, threat survival. Fight or flight is what we're built for as nature. So that will help explain why as humans and individuals, we need to do the work. We need to work hard to make sure that we're doing it. So here's some tips for building contentment in your life. These are some of the things that that I've been researching over many years. Going back and reflecting and looking at things that when do I feel at most happiness, and a lot of the times I feel my most happiness when things are actually going wrong, and that's a catalyst for me to sit down and explore that. And I'm a very curious person. I ask a lot of questions. That's me by nature. I'm curious. I ask questions. I explore. I do a lot of reflection. Now that's me. Some other people are not built that way, so they need to go. To me it comes naturally. To others it might not. Whilst other things come natural to others, and to me I find very difficult. Everybody has different strengths. Everyone has different shadows. But this for me over the years is sitting down always with a pen and paper, where you hear me talk, and doing a lot of reflection. And these days, because of the Apple phone, it's not so much pen and paper, it's sitting down with my notes section and exploring different things. So here's some of the tips that I believe are important to cultivate contentment, to actually, start you on that thing. And number one is pause. Is to actually pause and reflect. Now, I spent 15 years building a company, and I can tell you that I didn't do a lot of pausing and stopping. And if I look back now, I was doing great things. I was enjoying it. All the things that people would normally measure a barometer of success. I wasn't at my most happiness. I wasn't unhappy, but I wasn't at my most happiness. And if I look back, it's because I didn't often pause to stop, reflect. I didn't actually pause to say, what am I unhappy with, or who am I unhappy with? How can I change this? How can I build on this? So pausing is number one. The next thing which I've learned as I've gotten older is, because as we're building, we're aspiring, we love things, you plan, you aspire and you want, you build boards that, what's your favorite car, favorite house, holiday destinations, rewards. These are rewards for your journey, but they are not the destination. Let me say that, things are not the destination. They are the reward. So what I've learned is stop buying stuff I don't need. I used to go and buy a shirt and buy 3 of them. I used to go and buy stuff just for that sake that I could, thinking that would build, contentment, and it doesn't. So I've stopped buying things I don't need. So firstly, pause. 2, stop buying things you don't need. 3, what gives me most satisfaction now and in my new journey with the Coffee Commune is show people you appreciate them. Now, I spend 90% of my time telling people what they're doing right. And yes, I spend 10% pointing out of what needs to be done. And this is my team, right? I will sit down and I will tell them the 10%. I will focus on 10% of the stuff that they need to get better. However, I do spend the 90% of my time showing how I appreciate them and how the business appreciates them. Now, you take that into personal life. I have a great circle of friends around me that I'm very proud of, but it's taken time to build that. It's taken a lot of learning, a lot of wisdom. Who are the right people to be in my tribe? Who am I the right person to give back to my tribe? But the people we have in our lives now, that Jana and I and our family have in our lives, we constantly show each other and tell each other that we appreciate them. And appreciate them isn't by giving things. It's not by paying for things. Appreciating is being there when they need you, offering advice when they help, and vice versa, that they're actually giving back to you as much as you're putting into the relationship. 4 is to practice gratitude, to stop, and they all go in hand, pausing, but then practicing gratitude. Thank you. Being able to understand and reflect that where you are now is because of where you've come from, but be grateful for the highs, be grateful for the lows, be grateful for everything, because gratitude is so important part of our life, and it's a key part to building contentment. I've now learned, number 5, to enjoy simple things that don't cost money. As we're growing up and we're taught about and we're brought up about this, hustle, and, this dog, eat dog attitude, go hard, be the best, inspire, yeah, rah, you got this, positive. You learn that the simple things don't actually cost money. Simple things, spending time with family, spending time with friends, doing something for somebody. It doesn't need to be about money. And I think as a society, I think COVID's helped this, that we're moving away from this concept of money being in the epicenter. Now, money is important because it is a resource. Because a lot of people say, it's easy to say this when you don't have money. Well, let me enlighten those that might say that about me. I had this attitude when I didn't have money. I came from son of migrants. My dad earned $450 a week, and we had the best upbringing. We didn't have new cars. We didn't go on holidays, but we had an amazing upbringing because we did the simple things. Barbecues with the family, off to the beach for days at the beach, family around, enjoying things. I remember making food and olives and stuff with mum and dad. Simple things that I remember in my childhood didn't cost a lot of money at all. A simple trip to the butcher was an experience. It was all about how it was done. So I can reflect now and say that simple things, enjoy them, because you don't need to have money to enjoy them. And that's not coming from someone that has got money now. It's coming from somebody who was brought up in this environment. And I try and replicate the same thing. 6 is be and live in the moment. And I got caught up in this in the past where everything was about what's next. And if you're constantly looking at what's next, you can't be content. And I know that firsthand. Stop, pause, reflect, gratitude. Don't buy stuff you don't need. Appreciate people. Practice gratitude. This will all lead to you living in the moment. And as I say, life is measured in moments. Life is not measured in possessions or materialism. So, great way for you to discover peace and love. Seek to love, not to control. Practice tolerance. Walk away. Live in the moment. Don't compare yourself to others. Accept that other people are who they are. And the final one is take responsibility for whatever happens in your life. It's not somebody else's fault. It's up to you. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Have you heard that one? I've heard that a lot lately by people. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. Take responsibility for whatever happens in your life. Recap. Seek to love. Practice tolerance. Walk away. Live in the moment. Don't compare yourself to others. Accept other people just the way they are. Take full responsibility for what happens in your life. Practice this and you will have peace. You will have contentment, which means you will have happiness. Peace, contentment, happiness, they go hand in hand. Till next time, go be the best you can be. You've been listening to Phil DeBella, and this is FlashCast by PDB.